Public Affairs very much thanks Residco, our sole corporate underwriter, for helping to make the production of this show possible.
You're watching Public Affairs. Berkowitz is my name, and politics is our game. So that's another issue, anti-Semitism. That was sweeping
Terrible.
Across the country.
And very big
Colleges
in Chicago.
and universities.
Yep.
Northwestern University.
Northwestern was terrible.
Just right in your backyard.
Right.
Kind
Daniel
of in the
backyard.
ninth CD.
Yes, sir.
Was Daniel talking about what the president should do to protect the Jewish students, all students, but in particular the Jewish students who were being told at Northwestern they couldn't go in certain areas, they couldn't study there because who said? Basically Hamas. Hamas had come. As they say, if you have a bad neighborhood and you don't help it, the bad neighborhood finds you. If you have a bad neighborhood on the south side and the west side of Chicago, don't worry about it, because what happens?
It's going to come right to your front door.
Bad neighborhood finds you.
Yep.
What's happening to crime in the 9th Congressional District?
But let's talk first about the campus and campus,
Okay,
because
you're right.
We brought Daniel Biss into our offices with leaders, myself, Deborah Silverstein, leaders in our community.
You did. You were there.
I'm a committeeman, of course. And we said, Daniel, we have a problem. Jewish kids are sending us letters. We showed them they can't go to class, and their parents are spending $60,000 a year because to walk across the quad during the encampment, they felt their safety was in danger. And he gave us the line that he's interested in defund the police and that this could be solved better.
He's interested in defunding the police?
That's what he said? He felt
Really?
this could be solved with social workers and not security guards, armed security.
Has he, as a state senator, you think he ever had a threat to his life?
I'm sure. You know what?
So what did he
have a threat to
say?
his life.
He
He's
called
Jewish,
up the leaders and
he
said, send me a social worker? Social worker?
Yeah.
Really? You think he did that?
I don't think so at all. And by the way, we just got the testimony of President Cho when he went to Congress, and we found on the page, I'm going to send it to you, where he said the day things got very violent, he called Daniel Biss and said, please send armed security to make sure nothing breaks here.
And he said, damn straight, I'll be right there.
He said, no, armed security will only feed the fire. Let me send over some social workers.
Boy, Daniel, really? You want to prove Leon wrong? I saw you just the other day. You walked right past me downtown Evanston. I called out. You said, I can't stop. I got to keep going.
Right.
But find some time. Find some time to come here with or without Bruce. Let's find out. Who's right, him or you? Laura Fine. Is she right, or is Bruce Leon right? Okay.
So we have armed security in our
Kat
synagogues.
right? Is Bruce Leon? Is Han right, or Bruce Leon?
Are all defunded.
Bushra, is she right? Or they're all kind of the same thing on all these issues. And there's one candidate of the 18 or 20. Who could that be? Who stands out?
Because we've had shootings.
Are you
in
saying
West
you're
Rogers
that
Park.
candidate?
I am that candidate, 100%. And we've had shooting in West Rogers Park. When I go to synagogue tonight for Rosh Hashanah, the holiest day of the year, there will be major armed security guards at every synagogue in West Rogers Park. Every park will be covered by police.
Because they need it, and they need
because
a lot of
we've had
that.
shootings and killings.
And a lot of it has to be private security.
Yep.
Because I don't know that Brandon Johnson, BLM Brandon Johnson, I don't know if he's standing up
You
for
know that we had somebody shot a year ago, a wonderful guy named Ethan, who actually testified in city council. He was shot by somebody, thank God his gun jammed or he would be killed. He was walking to synagogue. The guy was a Hamas agent. They found all kinds of evidence.
What do we have?
And do you know that it took 5 days for the mayor to call it a hate crime?
Yeah. So
He has never been to the 50th ward, ever.
in a nutshell, what do you think has to be done to put a strong stop to violence, crime, whether we're talking assaults,
we need to send a message
rapes?
to criminals, rapes, murders. We need to send and you saw what happened on Michigan Avenue with these smash and grabs. And by the way, you probably saw one of the people that was involved in the smash and grab just 3 weeks earlier had taken a picture with Governor Pritzker, okay?
Bad photo op.
Yeah, yeah.
Governor, right?
Okay, the governor felt bad
Because
about it.
he supports that. He supports these called violence interrupters. One of the violence interrupter, turns out that he was taking a picture with, was a violence creator, violence crime.
Why would
he's now charged one of seven. He's one of seven charged with murder because somebody was killed in the van as they crashed through.
And they killed somebody in a car as well. And by the way, if
It
you're
sounds
Louis
like felony
if
murder.
you're Louis
If in the
Vuitton,
conviction of a felony, I think I learned this in law school. If you're doing a felony and something happens there and somebody dies, it's called the felony murder rule.
Yep.
If you're convicted of that felony, you can be convicted of murder. Murder, Pritzker. Do you bear any responsibility for sponsoring this guy? Don't tell me there are 10,000, this is one. What if there are 10? What if there are 20? Do you bear any responsibility? Have you apologized? Has he apologized?
no. And you know what? If you're Rolex or Louis Vuitton, why would you reopen your store if there's so little protection on Michigan Avenue, which used to be one of the greatest shopping? This city was a world-class city. People came all over the country to shop on Michigan Avenue.
That's Michigan Avenue, but right in your district, in Evanston,
We
in
have
Skokie.
crime. People are
all the
afraid.
way from the top, from the southern part of your district
Yep.
to the northern part, to McHenry County, to Lake County, to Cook County, all throughout Mount Prospect, Prospect Heights,
And by the way, Jeff, I want to tell you
Rogers
something.
Park.
In my community, I'm a little bit outspoken. This is not the most popular. I advocate in our synagogue, we do not allow our congregants to come armed, even though they're worried that there may be a break-in and they may have to defend their children, because I believe we should have professionals with the guns, okay?
Gee, but you
I will
don't.
tell you, I'm
What-
fighting a
This is
very...
the U.S. Constitution.
I
Is there
understand.
something here of relevance, Bruce?
I'm worried when people that aren't professionals and well-trained are carrying guns, but I
Have
will
you
tell
heard
you
of
something.
concealed carry?
I'm hearing a lot from the people in the neighborhood that they don't feel safe. And if they don't feel safe, they are allowed to protect themselves, okay? I agree with that,
Isn't
okay?
that the law? Don't they
It is the
have
law.
to? Don't they have to get trained as a part of acquiring a concealed carry
They do.
license?
They're trained, but I'm just
Well,
saying.
you said if they're not trained, but if they have to get trained, I guess they're trained, aren't they?
I'm not saying that they're untrained. I would rather have somebody that's super trained. But I'm saying to you, they're only carrying it because they feel unsafe.
So
and we have to
maybe-
make people feel safe, whether they live in Glenview, where they live in Evanston,
Okay.
where they live in Algonquin. People need to feel safe when they leave their houses.
What do they need from the state's attorney of Cook County, of Lake County, of McHenry County? What do they need from
I
the
don't know if
state's
you're
attorney?
aware of the fact, but my house was robbed. Okay, they came in and they're very clever. They took 2 bicycles worth about combined total of about, and 3 bicycles about $1,700. There was a law in effect that if your personal robbery was less than $2,000, it was like they didn't even
Didn't have
investigate
it.
the crime.
You can't arrest them.
Right, you
Let
can't even
go.
arrest them.
It's
They
a
would
freebie.
break into stores and they knew
Okay,
this.
so what do you need?
We need to work on the cash bail situation. We need to work on making sure that criminals are
Wait
detained.
a second, just maybe you don't know this, maybe they don't know it. Even after the Safety Act was instituted, even after cash bail was removed, that's fine. You say people, whether you detain them, should not be a part of whether they have money. It should be, are they dangerous? Because if they're dangerous, then you can detain them. So was the state's attorney of Cook County, I think that was the law when Kim Foxx was there, was she saying, we want our hearing, we want to show they're dangerous, we want to prosecute, we want to sentence, we want, not probation, put them in prison because they should know they've done something wrong and won't do it again?
You know, I went to Kim
Are you
Foxx
saying that?
with
I don't want to
aldermen.
hold on, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Are you saying what I just said?
100%. And by the way, Jeff, what they're doing
they
is
gotta
these
hear you,
gangs,
Bruce. They gotta hear
these
you.
gangs are sending minors, 16, 17-year-old kids to perform these carjackings and these muggings and these home things because Kim Foxx said if they're under 16, it's not their fault. It's society's fault.
They can't be treated like an adult.
And they just get
They
sent
go
on the
home with
street.
their parents and then they come back with their parents.
And so the gangs are smart. They send the young kids to do all the dirty work.
So
Carjacking.
you got a bully pulpit. And as a congressman from this district, you can't remove the state's attorney who's not doing that, but you can speak out against her
We
or
have a
him.
better state's attorney than we did under Kim
But
Foxx.
you could, yeah, maybe, but it's your job. If you think that's better, let them know. If you think it's worse. And Daniel Biss and Laura Fine and on and on. If you're running for Congress, you all have a bully pulpit. I want to hear from you what you think about these issues. Don't just tell me, tell the people, tell the 700,000 people in the Illinois 9th CD. Tell Jan Schakowsky, she's still there. Okay, so we covered a lot, but I think, taxes are a big deal, right?
Yes, they are.
Are they too high in Illinois?
You know that it's almost 2% on the property taxes. I believe there's 4 cities in Illinois
Wait a
that
second,
rank in the
almost-
top 5.
I don't know what
in
you
the
mean,
country.
2%. What does that mean?
2% of an assessed value. Okay.
Let's just speak. Wirepoint says, what do we know about the property taxes in the state of Illinois? Across the whole state,
Among the highest in the country.
the highest.
And we're not getting value for it.
And the 9th is part of that. Yeah, there's 17 congressional districts, but I don't think the 9th is an outlier and everybody else is paying high property taxes.
Correct.
And Bruce and Daniel and Laura and Kat and Han
And Mike
Bushra
Simmons.
and Mike Simmons, do you know, have you studied this? What's the biggest cause of high property taxes? How much, what's the percentage? Maybe you know. Do you know the percentage of the property tax that is explained by the amount we spend on education?
2/3.
2/3. So if you spend too much and if you're not getting results, maybe you should spend less and get better results.
100%.
Because all that happened in the last 20 years, we spend more and more and the results go down. Maybe you need, I heard this, it can't be. We said 20% of blacks in Evanston in ETHS are reading at grade level, 80% not. And Daniel's solution is to get more black teachers. I'm not against more black teachers, but I thought we'd say, why don't we get the best teachers? The best teachers. And if they're black, great. If they're white, I don't care what they are, purple. But if they're not teaching kids how to read, and I don't think it's, I don't know, Dan, you think it's the skin pigmentation? Really? If they're not learning how to read, just to replace the color? Does that sound right to you?
Well, listen, I'm more of a data person. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but this is
No, I want to ask you. You can't get away. I ask the tough questions. If Daniel Biss said the way to fix this black problem, 20%, which we've had for his term and the term before and term, all we got to do is go out and get more black teachers. Is that what he said? I'm telling you, I heard that. That's certainly one of the main things. If he said that, what do you have to say to Daniel Biss about that? I want an answer.
As somebody who's hired thousands of CEOs, I want the best teachers. That's how I want to do it.
Because you know who wants them? The parents of the kids who aren't learning how to read. Because if they don't learn how to read, they get involved with the gang. They get involved with gangs. They become a criminal, and the life goes down from there. You want to save these kids.
Right. But let's just talk about taxes for a second, because this is a big issue with the other people in my race. You know, they're talking about a grocery tax. Of course, the city's bankrupt. They've got this huge pension issue, which maybe we can touch on. But in the meantime, they want to put a grocery tax. So Kat gets on her bully pulpit because she's got this big TikTok following, whatever. And just like Mandami in New York, she says free groceries, free buses, free childcare, free rent, everything, you know, free. They have no idea how to pay for it, right? And they start talking about how high the groceries are. And then on top of that, they're going to put a grocery tax in the Cook County. And by the way, if you put a county tax or a city tax, and let's say it's a city tax on groceries, and you live like me right on the city border, you think people won't cross the city to go somewhere else to shop?
So Bruce Leon, we're getting near the end. People sometimes call this the affordability issue.
The affordability issue.
Yeah, Democrats say we've learned that word from 2024.
Free.
They can't afford things. The citizens in America can't afford things. The cost of living is too high. What is your solution running in the Illinois 9th
I actually
congressional
have practical ideas on how to bring in low-cost housing.
Quick. Give it to me.
Low-cost housing. I do think we need to close the income gap between the ultra wealthy and the working class, but that can be done by creating more jobs, better jobs. If you got people that can read and write and do math, then they can get executive jobs, okay? And that can help close the gap. If somebody can't read, then they can't get a good job necessarily, okay?
So you want to raise the incomes of the lower income people,
yes,
not lower the incomes of the higher income people.
Exactly.
Because you got rewarded, by providing a service, your company got rewarded.
Yes.
You sold it for mucho bucks. They're going to use it against you.
Of course.
I don't know why it's wrong.
Because anybody that's a millionaire is evil, don't you know that? Unless you're, George Soros or somebody like that, or Pritzker.
He must be really evil.
Yeah,
Pritzker must be, and they say it's their values. Well, we've said a lot about Bruce. You have said a lot about J.B. Pritzker's values, about other Democrats' values. So I don't know. Are you running on core Democratic values? Which I saw some.
We have to address this because I will get attacked on this.
What are you running on? Core American values?
When I go to the forums, all the other candidates, when we get 3 minutes introduction, they all spend their 3 minutes talking about, elect me, I'll be a dog with a bone. I'm going to fight Donald Trump, fight Donald Trump. I tell everybody when it comes to my turn, until March, I'm not fighting the White House. I'm fighting all the other people on this dais. And right now, I am trying to expose the fact that the Democratic Party has been taken over by Democratic socialists and uber progressives. And if we want to save the party and really save democracy, we need to move back to the center, to the moderate, to people that understand what it's like to be fair and not just to accuse the rich of all the problems and tax and give out free things and say and create a class warfare. And so I'm here to say, Brandon Johnson, I'm going to fight you every day I'm in office and every day on this thing. And I will fight anybody who I feel is an extremist, whether it's on the Republican side or the Democratic side. We need to get rid of the extremists in this party.
Are you running on what you've told the voters and our viewers during the show? Because they can look back. We'll do a part 1 and part 2. And folks, if you're watching this in part 1, come back for part 2, okay? It's going to be a 2-part show, probably 25 minutes or so each. Do these 2 shows that you've just taped, do they represent your core values?
My values of a strong pro-Israel U.S. relationship. I want to make schools better, and better means offering parents the choice and offering competition so that we are not run by a monolithic union that is just squashing people in any way to move forward.
Keep going.
I want to improve the business climate in Illinois and not make it a place where businesses feel choked and move to other places to do business. I want to lower the taxes and make properties more affordable and get people not to move out because they feel they're being taxed. And all this talk about taxing the rich at 10% and everything like that. They'll just move to Florida. And we've talked about how many people have left this state versus other states, and it's going to continue unless we get our act together and actually solve the pension problem and other things, okay? I want crime. I want to attack murders and rapes and crime and make people feel safe in the 9th District and in the rest of the state, okay? And that doesn't come about from defunding the police. It means supporting the police, and I'm going to support the police, and I'm going to support that fact that we need to have strong public safety. And by the way, also on a national level, I'm not like Kat that says 50% off from the military. We've got evil people out there called North Korea, Russia, China, and we need a strong national force to prevent that as well. Okay, so I want to, with the taxes and with the schools and with pro-Israel, I want to fight anti-Semitism. And I believe that those core values are what a centrist, moderate Democrat will be proud of. And if they elect me to this, I will do good by the 9th District and for the state of Illinois because I love this city and I want to make it a world-class city again.
Do you believe in America?
I believe 100% in America, and I believe in the American dream.
And are these values, are these core American values?
They are.
And you're running on that.
They are. And by the way, Jeff, I'm a survivor of a suicide. My mother committed suicide when I was 20. I believe that everybody can have a chip on their shoulder, and that's okay. And I love resilience. But this is not a society where we blame. You talk to young people, they blame us for the climate issue. They blame us for all the economic and social problems. And actually, they're living in a pretty good era. My father lived through the Depression and World War II. He would have had to go to Japan to fight the Japanese there. And so we have to realize America gives people an opportunity to achieve greatness. And we can't kill that dream. I believe in America, and I believe in the American dream.
So Bruce Leon, candidate in the Illinois 9th Congressional District Democrat primary.
Yep.
You come back and give us another show. You've given us 2. Thank you for part 1.
And I invite any of my opponents to come talk to Jeff.
If you've watched this as part 1, you come back next week, it'll be part 2. And if you can't find us on cable, you can find us all the time, 24/7, youtube.com/publicaffairs.tv. And Daniel and Kat and Laura and you come back next week and every week to Public Affairs.